You feel a soft, almost imperceptible shift in the air, a gentle coolness that subtly hints at the coming warmth of the sun. It is still the deepest part of early morning, the world outside your small, cozy window painted in the most profound shades of deep indigo and soft, muted gray. These colors slowly but patiently bleed into a pearly white as the eastern horizon gently brightens. You are nestled comfortably in the quiet slumber of a medieval village, perhaps somewhere deep in the ancient heart of Europe, centuries ago, where the very rhythms of daily life were tied so intimately, so irrevocably, to the sun's slow, deliberate journey across the vast, expansive sky. It is a timeless dance between the enduring darkness and the gentle promise of light, a cycle that has repeated itself endlessly through ages past. The profound silence that envelops your humble dwelling is almost tangible. Like a thick, velvet curtain draped carefully over the entire sleeping world, muffling all but the very faintest, most delicate stirrings of the natural world. A faint yet utterly familiar sound begins to reach you. A whisper at first, then a clear, resonant call from beyond the solid wooden walls of your simple home. It is the steady, rhythmic crow of a rooster, a sound that repeats itself with a comforting regularity. A soft, natural alarm clock echoing through the pre-dawn stillness. You hear it again, a little closer this time, its call carrying a touch more insistence, and then again, a gentle, yet unwavering beckoning that clearly marks the turning of the day. This sound is far from jarring or abrupt. Instead, it is a deeply comforting assurance, a familiar note in the quiet symphony of the awakening world. It's a predictable beginning to another cycle of waking and resting, a gentle reminder that another day is slowly, peacefully unfolding, just as countless days have unfolded before it, each one a smooth, continuous progression from the last, a testament to the unhurried passage of time. As the quiet moments continue to pass, a subtle, almost ethereal lightness begins its gentle creep into the room. You can sense the delicate presence of the morning mist, a soft, translucent veil still clinging stubbornly to the thatched rooftops of the neighboring cottages, blurring their distinct outlines into soft, indistinct shapes. Imagine this soft, ethereal blanket of white, lending an almost dreamlike quality to the waking landscape outside, muting harsh sounds and softening all sharp edges, creating an atmosphere of gentle, hazy wonder. The air itself feels wonderfully crisp and remarkably clean, carrying with it a faint, earthy aroma. You might detect the subtle, grounding scent of damp soil, newly turned by the dew that has settled throughout the quiet hours of the night, perhaps mingling harmoniously with the light. Fresh fragrance of wild grasses from the vast fields stretching beyond the village's edge. It is a quiet, unspoken invitation, a gentle beckoning to simply be present, fully and completely in this tranquil, unhurried space, feeling the subtle, graceful shift from the profound darkness towards the soft, tender promise of a new day's light. You listen more closely now, allowing your senses to expand, and beneath the persistent rooster's call, other faint sounds gradually begin to emerge, weaving themselves into the fabric of the morning. Perhaps the distant low bleating of a sheep from a nearby pasture, a soft, contented sound that speaks of peaceful grazing, or the almost imperceptible rustling of leaves as a gentle breeze sighs softly through the ancient, towering trees that stand like silent guardians over the village, their branches swaying in quiet communion. There might be the distant rhythmic trickle of a hidden stream, its clear water flowing ceaselessly and patiently over smooth, time-worn stones, creating a constant, soothing murmur that has endured for countless ages. A sound of perpetual motion in a still world. Each of these small and unhurried sounds contributes to a rich, yet incredibly subtle tapestry of peaceful awakening. A world slowly, deliberately coming to life without any hint of haste or urgency. The profound silence does not shatter. Instead, it gracefully recedes, making gentle way for the rising, quiet hum of existence. You feel the cool, fresh breath of the new day seeping gently through the small, unseen cracks in the sturdy wooden walls of your home, carrying with it the quiet anticipation of the day's familiar and predictable tasks, a sense of quiet purpose. This is the world you inhabit, a place where time itself moves at its own measured, unhurried pace, dictated not by clocks but by the steady arc of the sun, the gentle changing of the seasons, and the simple, enduring necessities of daily life. Every morning is a soft, comforting echo of the one before, a profound testament to the steadfastness and unwavering rhythm of the medieval world. You find yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the sensation of this calm awakening, a gentle, soothing current carrying you effortlessly forward into the soft embrace of the new day. You linger in this moment, suspended between slumber and wakefulness, feeling the profound peace of a world content in its cyclical nature. The air is still cool, but a hint of warmth from the east promises the sun's imminent arrival, painting the highest clouds in the faintest blush of rose and gold, a silent masterpiece unfolding before the full light. Now, as the gentle gray of dawn transitions into a clearer, more defined light, filling the room with a soft luminescence, you begin to stir more fully, not with any sense of urgency or pressing demand, but with a slow, deliberate readiness for the day ahead. You feel the cool, yet comforting, touch of the rough spun linen blanket as you shift, a simple, honest texture against your skin, providing a familiar and welcome weight that has protected you through the quiet hours of the night. As you gradually move to rise, your bare feet find the cool, smooth surface of the worn wooden floor beneath them. Each plank, softened and polished by generations of footsteps, feels familiar and grounding, telling a silent story of countless journeys taken across its surface, of bodies moving through these very spaces, their daily rhythms echoing in the deep grain of the timber. The air inside your humble wooden home still holds a comfortable coolness, a slight, pleasant chill that gently encourages you to move towards the hearth, the very heart of the home, where warmth soon will bloom. A gentle, insistent crackling sound begins to fill the quiet space, growing steadily louder as dried kindling, carefully gathered and stored yesterday, is purposefully placed into the fireplace. You hear the small, precise movements as each piece of wood finds its perfect place, arranged just so, allowing the air to circulate freely and feed the fledgling flame. The tiny sparks dance briefly, like miniature, fleeting stars, leaping from the kindling before gracefully settling into a steady, soft glow, growing larger and brighter with each carefully added piece of fuel. Slowly, gradually, with a wonderful sense of inevitability, a comforting warmth begins to emanate from the growing fire, pushing back the persistent morning chill and creating a small, intensely cozy pocket of heat that beckons you closer, drawing you into its comforting embrace. This warmth spreads, expanding slowly and gently, reaching out to embrace the entire room, a silent, comforting presence that effectively chases away the lingering coolness of the night, replacing it with a soft, inviting heat that warms you from within. Soon, a new aroma, deeply comforting and utterly familiar, begins to join the subtle, earthy scent of wood smoke, a fragrance that unequivocally promises sustenance and the enduring comfort of routine. It is the wholesome, deeply satisfying smell of baking bread, perhaps a simple, unleavened flatbread cooking directly over the open flame, its edges crisping gently, or a portion of a larger rustic loaf warming slowly in a small, enclosed oven built directly into the sturdy hearth. This earthy, nourishing scent mingles harmoniously with the faint, rustic perfume of the hearth itself, creating an atmosphere that feels profoundly rooted, utterly secure, and wonderfully predictable. You can almost taste the simple goodness of it, a plain yet deeply satisfying beginning to the long, quiet day. Your hands, now fully awake and accustomed to their many tasks, move with a practiced ease, a silent dance honed over countless mornings, as you begin the careful preparation of the morning meal. Perhaps you are stirring a portion of gruel, made from coarse oats or hearty barley, warming slowly in an earthenware pot suspended over the steadily growing flame. The wooden spoon makes a soft, rhythmic scraping sound against the clay, a gentle hum of quiet industry, a testament to steady, unhurried work. You might feel the fine, almost powdery texture of the ground grain between your fingers as you add it to the warming water, ensuring the consistency is just right, a perfectly smooth, nourishing liquid. Or perhaps you are carefully arranging dried fruits, patiently preserved from the last abundant harvest, on a simple wooden platter, each one a small, sweet, concentrated reminder of the earth's endless bounty. Each movement is unhurried, deliberate, and imbued with a quiet purpose, a part of a well-worn dance, a sequence repeated countless mornings, bringing forth an undeniable sense of calm and natural rhythm to the unfolding day. As the fire grows steadier and its heat more intense, casting dancing shadows on the walls, and the meal simmers quietly, you might begin to hear other faint, gentle sounds from within the home. Perhaps the soft rustle of straw as someone else shifts on a sleeping mat, still deep in the lingering embrace of dreams, or the quiet, contented murmur of a voice, still thick and groggy with sleep, a gentle acknowledgement of the new day. You hear the gentle clinking of earthenware cups being carefully set on a sturdy, rough-hewn wooden table, anticipating the warm liquid that will soon fill them, perhaps watered wine or a simple herbal infusion. There is absolutely no urgency in these sounds. No rush, just the steady, predictable progression of a household waking up, moving through its timeless rituals. A theoretical homemaker's guide from that era, if such comprehensive written instructions existed for every humble home, might have detailed the precise measurements for the morning gruel, ensuring a consistent texture each morning, or perhaps the specific way to stack the wood for the most efficient and enduring burn, conserving precious fuel. This quiet predictability, this unwavering routine, is a cornerstone of life in this age, a constant against the ever-changing seasons and the unpredictable whims of nature. You feel the deep, abiding comfort that comes from knowing exactly what each new morning will bring, a succession of small, familiar tasks that anchor you firmly in the present moment, preparing you for the gentle, unhurried flow of the day ahead. The warmth of the fire now embraces you fully, a physical manifestation of the security and stability of your home. The simple aromas fill your senses, grounding you. You are part of this timeless rhythm, a quiet participant in the ancient dance of daily life. You breathe in the calm and feel the weight of peaceful repetition settling over you, preparing your mind and body for a deep and restorative rest. As the gentle light of morning fully fills your dwelling, as the gentle warmth of the morning fire truly permeated your simple wooden home, chasing away the last vestiges of night's coolness, a new set of familiar rhythms began to unfold. You had moved from the hearth, perhaps to a corner where a shaft of light, now brighter and clearer, illuminated fine dust motes dancing in the air, appearing like tiny, ephemeral stars. This was a time for learning, for the quiet transmission of knowledge, not through formal scrolls or grand lectures, but through the gentle, patient repetition of daily life. You find yourself drawn to the soft murmur of voices, a comforting sound within the familiar confines of your home. It's the steady, soothing tone of your mother, perhaps, or an elder woman of the household, patiently guiding a younger hand through the intricate dance of daily chores. This isn't a structured lesson, but rather a seamless unfolding of living, a quiet flow of essential knowledge passed down with immense patience. Imagine being that young girl, your small, eager hands reaching out, feeling the cool, smooth texture of raw wool as your mother demonstrates the delicate art of spinning. Her fingers, weathered by years of work, move with practiced grace, drawing out the fibers, twisting them into a fine, continuous thread. You watch intently, mesmerized by the hypnotic whir of the drop spindle as it turns, a soft, almost imperceptible hum filling the air. As you try to mimic her movements, the unfamiliar coarseness of the raw wool feels distinct, and you sense the subtle tension required to prevent the thread from breaking. Her voice is a soft whisper, a gentle current of instruction, repeated patiently. Feel the twist. Let the fibers flow, not too tight, not too loose. Each word guides your nascent understanding to gently take root. The scent of lanolin, earthy and natural, rises from the wool, an aroma now synonymous with this quiet learning. The rhythm of the spindle's turn, the soft tug of the fibers, the steady breathing of the teacher, all these elements weave into a meditative tableau of inherited wisdom. You feel the gradual strengthening of your own small muscles, the slow, satisfying acquisition of a skill that will serve you throughout your life, a skill as ancient and enduring as the land itself. Perhaps the lesson shifts to the preparation of food, the very sustenance of the household. Your hands might be guided to the cool, resilient texture of dough, pliable and yielding beneath your touch. Your mother's hands, strong and knowing, cover yours, demonstrating the rhythmic kneading, the push and pull, the fold and press. You feel the subtle resistance of the dough, its slow, elastic stretch, how it becomes smoother and more cohesive with each steady motion. The air around you fills with the wholesome, earthy scent of flour, perhaps mixed with a hint of rising yeast, a subtle sweetness promising warmth and nourishment. The sound of the kneading is a soft, rhythmic thud against the wooden board, a comforting, repetitive beat that lulls the mind into a state of focused tranquility. Push, fold, turn, her voice murmurs, a continuous, gentle stream of guidance. You observe the subtle changes in the dough's texture, from sticky and rough to smooth and supple, a transformation that mirrors the patient work of learning itself. This is not about speed, but about meticulousness, about understanding the innate properties of the materials, about finding the harmonious rhythm that allows the task to unfold with grace and precision. The warmth from the nearby hearth, still glowing with embers, adds another layer of comfort to this quiet act of creation, reinforcing the feeling of safety and belonging within the ancient walls of your home. You then move to another part of the dwelling, perhaps near a small, unglazed window where the clearer light of mid-morning now streams in, illuminating tiny dust particles dancing lazily in the air. Here, you observe the calm, serene presence of your grandmother. Her hands, gnarled and wise, are engaged in the meticulous art of embroidery. Her back is straight, her gaze steady, her movements precise. The needle, a slender, gleaming sliver of metal, weaves in and out of the linen fabric with an almost imperceptible rhythm, creating delicate patterns. You can sense the smooth, cool texture of the finely woven cloth beneath her fingers, the subtle shimmer of the dyed wool or silk thread as it catches the light. The silence in this corner of the room is profound, broken only by the whisper of the needle pulling thread through fabric, a soft, dry rasp that speaks of careful artistry. She works tirelessly, yet without haste, her focus complete. You see the intricate design slowly emerge, a floral motif, perhaps, or a symbolic pattern, each stitch a testament to immense patience and unwavering dedication. As she works, her eyes, unfilled with the wisdom of years, occasionally flicker towards you, not with scrutiny, but with a gentle, knowing glance. Her teaching isn't always verbal. Sometimes it's simply the quiet power of her example, the steady rhythm of her hands, the visible fruit of her meticulous labor. There's a soft, barely audible sigh as she pulls a thread taut, a small sound of deep concentration. This quiet observation is a lesson in itself, teaching you the profound value of slow, painstaking work, of finding beauty in the smallest, most repetitive actions. It is a subtle lesson in perseverance, in the calm satisfaction of seeing a complex pattern unfold stitch by patient stitch. According to the traditional wisdom passed down through generations, such crafts were not merely tasks, but forms of meditative practice, instilling discipline and an appreciation for the enduring beauty found in careful creation. As evening begins to draw near, and the soft glow of the hearth fire casts dancing shadows upon the walls, the education takes on a different form, equally potent in its gentle sway. This is the time for stories, for the ancient tales and soothing lullabies that have woven themselves into the very fabric of your heritage. You might be nestled close to your mother or grandmother, feeling the comforting warmth of their presence. Perhaps on a straw mat or a low wooden bench near the fire. Their voices, now softer, lower, take on a melodic quality as they begin to sing a lullaby. The tune is simple, repetitive, a gentle rocking melody that bypasses conscious thought and speaks directly to your peaceful inner being. You feel your eyelids growing heavy, your body relaxing into the rhythmic ebb and flow of the song. The words, perhaps about a sleepy lamb or a gentle stream, are not meant to stimulate thought, but to quiet it, to lull you into a state of profound peace. The scent of the dying embers, a faint, woody perfume, blends with the warm, comforting smell of your home, deepening the sense of security. Then perhaps a folk tale begins, told in a low, even tone. These are not dramatic sagas of heroes and battles, but rather simple narratives that echo the rhythms of village life, subtly embedding lessons on virtue, duty, and the natural order of things. You hear about a diligent farmer who tended his fields with patience, or a kind woman who shared her meager harvest, or perhaps the steady progression of the seasons, each bringing its own lessons. There is no conflict to resolve, no sudden climax to anticipate. The story simply flows, like a quiet river, from beginning to middle to a gentle, satisfying conclusion. The repetition of certain phrases, the steady cadence of the narrator's voice, the familiar morals gently woven into the narrative. All these elements work together to create a hypnotic effect. You are not actively trying to listen, but rather allowing the sounds to wash over you, carrying you further and further into a state of profound relaxation. This oral tradition, a cornerstone of medieval learning, ensures that the values and practical wisdom of the community are absorbed not through force, but through the comforting ritual of shared storytelling, preparing you not just for sleep, but for a life lived in harmony with these deep-seated traditions. The gentle flickering of the firelight plays on the faces of your family, casting soft, dancing shadows that seem to melt into the gathering darkness, inviting you to let your own thoughts dissolve into the soothing embrace of the night. As the morning light deepens and the air outside becomes crisper, carrying the scent of damp earth and growing things, your attention shifts to the world beyond the cottage walls. You begin the gentle transition to the fields, the vast, open spaces where much of the village's sustenance is meticulously cultivated. You feel the coolness of the morning dew still clinging to the blades of grass as your simple, worn shoes or bare feet make their way along the familiar path. Each step is deliberate, rhythmic, a quiet progression towards the day's labor. The world around you hums with a quiet, natural energy, a stark yet peaceful contrast to the enclosed warmth of the home. The sky above is a vast, expansive canvas of soft blue streaked with wisps of cloud, promising a day of steady, predictable work under its watchful gaze. Now, you are in the fields, surrounded by the ripening grain, perhaps barley or wheat, standing tall and proud, swaying gently in the barely perceptible breeze. Your hands reach for the scythe, a tool both ancient and familiar. You feel its weight, the smooth, worn wood of its handle, the slight coolness of the metal blade. This tool is an extension of your body, a testament to generations of skilled hands that have wielded it. The motion of the scythe is a fundamental rhythm of agricultural life, a slow, deliberate swing that becomes almost meditative in its repetition. You feel the gentle tension in your arms and shoulders as you lift and then, with a controlled, flowing movement, bring the blade in a wide, sweeping arc. There is a distinct, satisfying swish or whish as the sharp edge cuts through the thick stalks of grain. It's a clean, efficient sound, followed immediately by the soft, rhythmic rustle of the severed stalks falling in neat, orderly rows onto the earth. This sound, repeated endlessly, becomes a gentle, hypnotic lullaby of labor, a continuous hum that fills the open air. You observe the falling grain, each stalk a delicate, golden testament to the earth's bounty. The process isn't rushed, it's a patient, methodical progression across the field. You can almost smell the unique, wholesome scent of freshly cut grain, green and earthy, mingling with the deeper, richer aroma of the damp soil beneath. As you move forward, the sun, now higher in the sky, begins to cast its warm, comforting rays directly upon your back and shoulders. You feel its gentle heat penetrating your simple tunic, a soothing presence that encourages steady, enduring work, not haste. Your body finds its own rhythm, a natural harmony with the swinging of the scythe, a slow, deep breath in, and a steadied, almost exhaling push as the blade moves through the crop. This is not strenuous exertion, but rather sustained effort, a quiet dance of human and land. Beyond the scything, there is the meticulous work of gathering and binding the sheaves. You bend down, feeling the subtle stretch in your back and legs, a gentle, repetitive movement. Your hands grasp the fallen stalks, feeling their dry, slightly rough texture, the light scratchiness against your skin. You gather them into neat bundles then, with practiced dexterity. Bind them tightly with straw or twine. The sound of the rustling stalks as they are gathered is soft and continuous, a gentle whisper in the open field. You might feel the fine dust from the dry stalks, almost imperceptible, settling lightly on your skin, catching the sunlight in tiny fleeting glimmers. This sequence, bending, gathering, tying, rising, repeats itself over and over as you move methodically across the vast expanse of the field. Each completed sheaf is a small victory, a visible sign of progress in a day filled with quiet, repetitive actions. Perhaps your work also involves interacting more directly with the earth as you tend to other crops. Imagine your hands reaching into the cool, rich soil to gently pull up a root vegetable, a turnip or a carrot. You feel the cool, firm soil against your fingers, the slight resistance as the root slowly emerges, bringing with it the earthy, clean scent of the moist ground. Or perhaps you are carefully plucking herbs, their distinctive fragrances releasing into the air as you gather them. The softness of the dry grass underfoot as you move between rows, a gentle cushion for your steps. The subtle sounds of insects buzzing lazily in the air, a constant low hum that adds to the sense of natural, peaceful activity. Birds chirp softly in the distance, their calls weaving into the background symphony of the fields. Your breathing is deep and even, a steady rhythm that mirrors the unhurried pace of your work. Each breath is a connection to the open air, the vast sky above, the fertile earth beneath. You feel the gradual onset of a gentle tiredness in your muscles, a deep, satisfying ache that comes not from strain, but from steady, purposeful labor. This is a contentment born of honest work, a physical peace that prepares your body for the deep rest to come. The day slowly progresses, marked not by clocks, but by the shifting angle of the sun, the lengthening shadows, and the steady, unwavering progress of your hands working in harmony with the ancient land. This connection to the land, this enduring rhythm of labor, is a profound source of peace and stability in your medieval life, a constant, unwavering pulse that guides your every waking moment. You feel yourself fully immersed in this tranquil flow, allowing the quiet repetitions of fieldwork to gently lull your mind into a deeper state of relaxation. As the sun climbs higher, casting its golden light and slowly shortening the shadows, the steady rhythm of work in the field subtly shifts. You feel a gentle warmth spreading across your skin, a comforting embrace from the midday sun, signaling the time for nourishment and quiet respite. The air, which held the crisp freshness of dawn, now carries the earthy scents of warmed soil and dried grasses, perhaps mingled with the distant faint aroma of wood smoke drifting from neighboring hearths as others prepare their own midday meals. You hear the soft, rhythmic hum of unseen insects, a low, consistent murmur that blends seamlessly with the expansive quiet of the landscape. Your muscles, having engaged in the patient work of the morning, carry a satisfying dull ache, a sign of honest labor, but without strain or urgency. This sensation is not one of exhaustion, but of a deep, wholesome readiness for a period of calm. You begin to make your way back towards the village, the path feeling soft and familiar beneath your feet. Each step is unhurried, a gentle shuffle that allows you to fully absorb the surrounding peace. You might notice the delicate trembling of leaves on a nearby oak tree as a light breeze passes through, creating a soft, whispering sound. The sky above remains a wide, unbroken canvas of tranquil blue, inviting your gaze to simply float, without focus or direction. As you draw closer to your dwelling, the sounds of home begin to emerge more clearly, the faint, comforting chime of earthenware, the distant, gentle bleating of a sheep, perhaps the low, contented cooing of a dove. These simple, natural sounds create an auditory tapestry, weaving together a sense of security and belonging. Upon entering your home, the atmosphere shifts subtly from the expansive outdoors to the contained warmth and intimacy of your dwelling. The light within is softer now, diffused through the small, unglazed windows, casting gentle, mellow tones across the wooden walls and earthen floor. The air inside holds a comforting aroma, a blend of wood smoke, stored grains, and perhaps the subtle scent of drying herbs suspended from the rafters. A simple meal awaits, perhaps a thick, hearty stew made with root vegetables harvested from the garden, simmering gently in an earthenware pot over the embers of the hearth. You hear the soft bubbling of the stew, a low, comforting sound that promises warmth and sustenance. The aroma of roasted vegetables and savory herbs fills the air, a delightful invitation to ease your hunger. You take your seat at a sturdy, rough-hewn wooden table, feeling the solid, grounding texture of the wood beneath your hands. The earthenware bowl, warm and substantial, feels reassuring as you hold it. As you consume the simple, wholesome food, each bite is a deliberate act, a conscious intake of nourishment. The texture of the softened vegetables, the warmth of the broth, the subtle flavors, all are savored without rush. You feel the food bringing a quiet replenishment to your body, a gentle restoration of energy that mirrors the slow, steady pace of life itself. There is no conversation, only the quiet sounds of eating, perhaps the soft scrape of a wooden spoon against the bowl, or the low, satisfied sigh of a family member. This is a moment of communal peace, a shared ritual of sustenance that requires no words, only presence. The light continues to shift and fade outside the window, signaling the quiet passage of time. After the meal, a period of quiet rest unfolds. You might move to a comfortable spot near the hearth, perhaps a straw mat or a cushioned bench. The heat from the embers is a gentle, pervasive warmth, encouraging your muscles to fully relax. You feel the soft, yielding texture of the mat beneath you, or the smooth, cool surface of the wooden bench. Your body sinks slightly, adjusting to the contours, as if the earth itself is holding you. The sounds around you become even more muted, the occasional soft crackle of a dying ember, the gentle breath of someone else resting nearby, perhaps the distant rhythmic chirping of a cricket from outside. There is no expectation, no task to anticipate, just the pure opportunity to simply be. This is a time for the body to recuperate, for the mind to gently drift, unfettered by thought or worry. You allow your gaze to softly unfocus, perhaps observing the subtle play of light and shadow on the opposite wall, or the intricate pattern of the woven ceiling. According to historical records, a midday rest, or siesta in some cultures, was a common and valued part of the daily routine in agricultural societies, allowing workers to avoid the harshest midday sun and recharge for the afternoon's tasks. This practice was seen not as idleness, but as a practical necessity, a way to maintain endurance and well-being. You feel the weight of your eyelids, the gradual deepening of your breath, as you sink further into this tranquil state of rest, allowing your body and mind to completely unwind in the gentle embrace of the afternoon. As the sun begins its slow descent, casting longer, warmer shadows across the landscape, the quiet period of midday rest gently transitions into the afternoon's activities. The air outside might feel slightly cooler now, carrying a subtle freshness that signals the approach of evening. Within the home, a different kind of quiet work quietly resumes. This is the time for crafts, for the meticulous work of creating and repairing, fostering a sense of diligent productivity that is both calming and fulfilling. You find yourself engaging in tasks that require patience and fine motor skills, actions that bring a meditative focus to your hands and mind. Perhaps you are mending a simple linen garment, feeling the soft, worn texture of the fabric between your fingers. The needle, small and slender, glides through the weave with a soft, almost imperceptible sound as it passes through the cloth. You feel the slight tension of the thread as you pull it taut, creating neat, even stitches that slowly close the tear or reinforce a weakening seam. The light filtering through the window, now softer and more golden, illuminates your hands, highlighting the quiet precision of your work. Each stitch is a small act of care, a testament to resourcefulness and the value of preservation. The sound of the needle and thread is barely audible, a gentle, repetitive whisper that contributes to the peaceful hum of the household. This task is not rushed. It is performed with a steady, unhurried pace, allowing your mind to settle into a state of calm concentration, your thoughts dissolving into the rhythmic movement of your hands. Alternatively, your hands might be engaged in the process of weaving baskets, selecting flexible willow branches or rushes, feeling their smooth, pliable texture. You might hear the soft creaks and gentle snaps as you bend and intertwine them, forming the sturdy base and sides of a functional container. The rhythmic layering of one branch over another, the careful shaping, the gradual emergence of a finished product from raw materials. All these aspects contribute to a deeply satisfying experience. The earthy scent of the natural materials fills the air, a wholesome aroma that connects you deeply to the resources of your environment. This intricate work requires focused attention, allowing you to forget any external concerns as your mind becomes completely absorbed in the tactile process. This quiet industry, often performed collectively within the household, reinforces the communal ties. As each family member contributes to the well-being of the whole, you feel the sense of shared purpose, even if the work is done in companionable silence, each person contributing their patient skill to the collective good. As the afternoon progresses, you might find yourself participating in a communal task with other villagers, perhaps gathering wild herbs in a nearby meadow or preparing wool for dyeing. The sounds of gentle conversation might drift through the air, low and steady, not intrusive but comforting. You hear the rustle of dry leaves underfoot, the soft buzzing of bees in a distant flower patch, the distant bleating of sheep from the common pasture. These sounds blend together into a continuous soothing background, a natural soundtrack to the collective work. You feel the texture of various plants in your hands, the delicate softness of dried lavender, the slightly rough surface of a basket brimming with freshly picked chamomile. The sense of these natural elements, the sweet floral notes of herbs, the earthy aroma of the meadow, create a rich tapestry of sensory experience, deepening your connection to the simple abundance of the natural world. The warmth of the afternoon sun remains, though it is now less intense, a soft, diffused light that encourages a calm, steady pace. You notice the subtle shift in the light's quality, a deepening of golden hues as evening slowly approaches. There is no sense of pressure or urgency, only the quiet satisfaction of shared labor and mindful creation. This collective work, often accompanied by shared stories or simple songs, reinforces the bonds of community, a gentle weaving together of lives, much like the threads in the fabric you might mend, or the rushes in the basket you might weave. It is a harmonious existence, where individual efforts contribute to a larger, peaceful whole. According to accounts of medieval village life, communal activities were paramount, not just for efficiency but for strengthening the social fabric, ensuring mutual support and a deep sense of belonging. As the light continues to soften, you feel the gentle hum of contentment, the quiet satisfaction of a day well spent, preparing your mind and body for the tranquil transition into evening and the profound rest that awaits. As the last lingering gold of the afternoon sun slowly recedes from the sky, dissolving into the deeper, richer hues of twilight, a profound sense of quiet descends upon the medieval village, wrapping it in a gentle, almost palpable stillness. You feel the subtle yet distinct shift in the air around you, a refreshing coolness that now permeates the atmosphere, carrying with it the promise of night, and inviting you to draw closer to the comforting, beckoning embrace of the hearth. The crisp freshness that characterized the late afternoon air, laden with the vital scents of damp earth and the subtle fragrance of growing things from the fields, gradually gives way to a heavier, more complex earthy aroma. This new scent profile is a harmonious blend of the familiar wood smoke already drifting lazily from the various chimneys, the rich, deep scent of damp soil from the dew that has begun to settle, and perhaps the faint, delicate, sweet perfume of night-blooming wildflowers, their petals slowly unfurling in the dimming light, carried on the softest, most imperceptible of breezes. It's a sensory tapestry that signals the day's gentle closing. The sounds that once filled the expansive fields and sun-drenched meadows, the tireless, rhythmic swish of the scythe cutting through tall grain, the gentle rustle of gathered sheaves being bound, the distant, contented bleating of sheep from the common pasture, and the occasional calls of farmers guiding their animals now soften. These sounds gradually fade, receding into a hushed murmur that becomes almost indistinguishable from the pervasive quiet. Instead, your senses now attune to the emerging chorus of the approaching night. You become exquisitely aware of the distant rhythmic chirping of crickets, a tiny, persistent sound that begins their nightly serenade, a steady, soothing chorus that blankets the entire landscape, weaving itself into the very fabric of the evening air. And then, clearer and deeper, comes the distinct resonant croak of a bullfrog from a nearby pond or marshy area, a solitary echoing sound that carries through the remarkably still air, adding another layer to the intricate natural symphony of the approaching night. These simple, authentic sounds, each distinct yet blending seamlessly, create a harmonious backdrop to the day's gentle transition, subtly lulling your senses into a deeper, more profound state of tranquility. You begin your unhurried journey back towards your humble dwelling, your footsteps light and purposeful on the familiar, well-worn path that has guided countless villagers home for generations. Each step you take is a quiet affirmation of the day's gentle progression, a steady, measured rhythm that guides you almost instinctively home. As you walk, you notice with a quiet appreciation how the light, once bright and clear, dominating the midday landscape, now softens dramatically. It transforms into a diffused, tender glow, casting long, ethereal shadows that stretch gracefully across the landscape, blurring the distinct edges of the familiar world, making everything appear softer, more dreamlike. The thatched roofs of neighboring cottages, which during the day stood out sharply against the blue sky, now merge into a seamless tapestry of soft, indistinct shapes against the rapidly deepening indigo of the sky. This profound transformation in light not only deepens the sense of peace but also subtly invites introspection, a gentle winding down of the day's external activities and a turning inward of the mind. As you draw closer, the faint, yet inviting flicker of hearth fires like warm, pulsating hearts begins to emerge from within the small, unglazed windows of the various houses, casting a soft, inviting glow that beckons you inward, promising comfort. These tiny beacons of light are not just practical sources of warmth. They are potent symbols of comfort, safety, and the enduring, unbreakable spirit of community that binds these lives together. Upon crossing the sturdy wooden threshold of your home, a sense of deep relief and profound belonging washes over you. You are immediately enveloped in an atmosphere of contained warmth and intimate familiarity, a feeling that is a stark yet profoundly comforting contrast to the vast open expanse of the fields you've just left. The air inside your dwelling is rich with the deeply comforting, almost sacred aroma of wood smoke, a scent that speaks volumes of enduring warmth, of countless shared meals, and of generations of life lived within these walls. This familiar spa-grounding perfume mingles harmoniously with the wholesome, earthy fragrance of stored grains, perhaps oats, barley, or wheat, and perhaps the subtle, sweet scent of drying herbs suspended from the sturdy rafters, their aromatic presence a constant, gentle reminder of nature's continuous bounty and the careful stewardship of resources. The light within your dwelling is now significantly softer, more diffused, filtered gently through the small, unglazed window openings. casting mellow golden tones across the rough-hewn wooden walls and the smooth, packed earthen floor. You feel the gentle, consistent warmth radiating from the central hearth, now a living, breathing entity, a constant, comforting presence that effectively chases away any lingering coolness from the outside air, wrapping you entirely in its tender, protective embrace. This seamless transition from the expansive public outdoors to the cozy private interior marks a profound shift in rhythm. From the individual solitude of labor to the quiet, shared communion of the household. As historical accounts and archaeological findings strongly suggest, the evening hours in medieval homes were often dedicated to communal activities, drawing families closer after the day's individual tasks were complete. You begin to hear the soft, rhythmic hum of low voices, perhaps a quiet conversation amongst family members already gathered near the fire, their tones gentle, unhurried, and imbued with a sense of calm contentment. The faint, comforting chime of earthenware being carefully placed on the sturdy, rough-hewn wooden table signals the impending evening meal, a ritual that serves as a powerful anchor for the end of each day, bringing a sense of order to the flow of time. You might detect the distant, contented cooing of a dove from a nearby dovecote, its soft, repetitive sound weaving itself seamlessly into the auditory tapestry of domestic quiet. These simple, natural sounds, each contributing to the whole, create an auditory tapestry of security and belonging, deepening your sense of peace and contentment as you settle into the very heart of your home. You feel the subtle shift in your own body, the gentle unwinding after a day of purposeful physical activity, preparing your senses for the deeper, more profound relaxation that the evening hours so generously promise. The day's external demands and responsibilities begin to recede from your conscious mind, allowing your thoughts to gently shift inwards, towards the quiet contemplation of home, family, and the profound simplicity of existence. This is a moment of pure, unadulterated peace, a prelude to the deep rest that awaits. As the last faint slivers of twilight fade completely from the western sky, surrendering the world entirely to the deep, velvety indigo of night, the central hearth within your humble dwelling becomes the undisputed heart of the home, a vibrant, living entity. It casts its warm, dancing shadows upon the rough-hewn wooden walls, creating a mesmerizing play of light and dark that seems to breathe with the rhythm of the fire itself. A simple, yet deeply nourishing meal awaits, a true culmination of the day's patient labor and the earth's generous, unwavering bounty. Perhaps it is a thick, hearty stew, slowly simmering with a comforting patience in a sturdy earthenware pot suspended directly over the glowing, vibrant embers. Its contents a medley of humble yet incredibly flavorful root vegetables harvested from the small, enclosed garden, perhaps earthy carrots, sweet parsnips, and robust turnips, their inherent sweetness deepened and mellowed by the slow, gentle cooking process. You hear the soft, rhythmic bubbling of the stew, a low, consistent sound that is deeply comforting and utterly primal, promising warmth, profound sustenance, and the simple, yet deeply satisfying joy of a meal prepared with care and attention. The rich, enticing aroma of roasted vegetables and savory, fragrant herbs fills the entire air within the home, mingling harmoniously with the ever-present, grounding scent of wood smoke, creating a delightful and irresistible invitation to ease your hunger and settle fully into the quiet, predictable rhythms of the evening. You instinctively take your place at the sturdy, rough-hewn wooden table, its surface smooth and polished not by design, but by countless hands and generations of meals shared upon its enduring form. The feel of the solid, grounding texture of the wood beneath your hands is profoundly reassuring, a tangible connection to the unwavering stability of your home and the continuity of life within it. The earthenware bowl, warm and substantial, feels inherently comforting as you cradle it. Its simple weight a powerful reminder of the practical beauty and humble elegance of everyday objects. As you consume the wholesome, unadorned food, each bite is not merely an act of sustenance but a deliberate ritual, a conscious intake of nourishment that transcends the mere satisfaction of hunger. The soft, yielding texture of the tender vegetables, the rich, savory warmth of the broth, the subtle, earthy flavors that unfold on your tongue, all are savored without rush, without distraction, with a quiet appreciation for the simple goodness they represent. You feel the food bringing a quiet, profound replenishment to your body, a gentle, sustained restoration of energy that perfectly mirrors the slow, steady pace of life itself, preparing you not for immediate exertion but for the tranquil hours ahead. During this shared evening meal, conversation is often minimal, a common practice in many historical settings where efficiency, reverence for the food, and a quiet sense of communion were paramount. Only the quiet, intimate sounds of eating fill the space, perhaps the soft, rhythmic scrape of a wooden spoon against the earthenware bowl, a gentle, almost imperceptible sound of contentment, or the low, satisfied sigh of a family member, a shared moment of communal peace that requires no spoken words, only presence, and a deep, unspoken understanding that transcends verbal communication. The soft, living light from the hearth continues its gentle, rhythmic dance, playing upon the faces of your family members, casting soft, dancing shadows that seem to melt seamlessly into the gathering darkness beyond the direct reach of the firelight. This is a profound time for shared sustenance, a simple yet deeply meaningful ritual that quietly, yet powerfully, binds the family together, reinforcing the deep and unspoken bonds of kinship, mutual dependence, and shared existence within the confines of the home. After the simple yet deeply satisfying meal, the focus gently, almost imperceptibly, shifts to the true heart of the home, the roaring hearth now a beacon of warmth, light, and shared stories against the encroaching silent night. A period of quiet rest unfolds, a sacred time for the body to recuperate from the day's labors and for the mind to gently drift, unfettered by the day's concerns or tomorrow's tasks. You might move to a comfortable spot near the fire, perhaps a straw mat laid out on the smooth earthen floor or a cushioned wooden bench, feeling the pervasive, encompassing warmth from the embers, encouraging your muscles to fully relax, to release any residual tension. The soft, yielding texture of the mat beneath you, or the smooth, cool surface of the wooden bench, feels profoundly familiar and comforting as your body sinks slightly, adjusting to the subtle contours, as if the very earth itself is holding you in a gentle, reassuring embrace. The sounds around you become even more muted, softened by the enveloping quiet, the occasional soft crackle of a dying ember, a gentle sigh or the steady, deep breath from someone else resting nearby. Perhaps the distant, rhythmic chirping of a cricket from outside, its natural lullaby becoming an integral part of the deepening night. Then perhaps a folk tale begins, told in a low, even tone, a timeless practice rooted deeply in oral traditions that long preceded widespread literacy. These are not dramatic sagas of valiant heroes and bloody battles, but rather simple, profound narratives that echo the gentle, enduring rhythms of village life, subtly embedding timeless lessons on virtue, duty, and the natural order of things. You hear about a diligent farmer who tended his fields with extraordinary patience, understanding the unhurried, vital cycle of growth and harvest, embodying perseverance, or a kind woman who, despite her own meager harvest, shared generously with her neighbors, embodying the deeply ingrained communal spirit of empathy and generosity. Or perhaps the steady, inevitable progression of the seasons, each bringing its own unique challenges and gentle lessons about acceptance, adaptation, and resilience. There is no conflict to resolve, no sudden climax to anticipate. The story simply flows, like a quiet, meandering river, from beginning to middle to a gentle, utterly satisfying conclusion, perfectly reflecting the unhurried, measured pace of medieval life. The repetition of certain evocative phrases, the steady, rhythmic cadence of the narrator's voice, the familiar morals gently and subtly woven into the narrative, all these elements work together with a profound synergy to create a hypnotic, deeply calming effect, gently drawing your mind into a state of profound relaxation, preparing it for true rest. You are not actively trying to listen, not straining your ears for every detail, but rather allowing the sounds and the narrative to simply wash over you, like gentle waves, carrying you further and further into a state of deep, restorative peace. This oral tradition, a cornerstone not just of medieval learning but also of community bonding and the preservation of shared values, ensures that the wisdom and practical knowledge of the community are absorbed not through force or rigorous study, but through the comforting, timeless ritual of shared storytelling, preparing you not just for physical sleep, but for a life lived in profound harmony with these deep-seated traditions. The gentle, consistent flickering of the firelight plays softly on the faces of your family members, casting soft, dancing shadows that seem to melt seamlessly into the gathering darkness, inviting you to let your own thoughts dissolve completely into the soothing, all-encompassing embrace of the night. This is the profound peace of a day gently closing, a world content in its cyclical and unchanging nature, preparing your mind and body for the deep, restorative rest that truly awaits, promising renewal with the coming dawn, as the last lingering echoes of the folk tale gently fade into the profound stillness of the night. A palpable sense of deep, enveloping peace settles over your humble dwelling. The narratives, thoughtfully woven with timeless wisdom and the simple rhythms of village life, have done their work, quietly guiding your mind and soothing your spirit. You feel the subtle, yet undeniable, pull of sleep, a gentle, insistent beckoning that encourages your body to relax further, to surrender completely to the peaceful embrace of rest. The warmth from the hearth, which moments ago was vibrant and dancing with light, now mellows into a constant, pervasive glow, emanating a soft, radiant heat that permeates the very air of your home. You can almost feel the gentle warmth from the embers permeating the rough-hewn wooden walls, a comforting, secure warmth that holds the chill of the outside world at bay, creating a perfect sanctuary. The scent of wood smoke, now softer and more settled, mingles harmoniously with the subtle, earthy aroma of the packed earth floor and the faint, sweet scent of dried straw from your sleeping mat, creating a deeply familiar and calming perfume that speaks eloquently of home, safety, and unwavering security. The sounds of the household begin to diminish even further, becoming almost imperceptible whispers within the vast, quiet canvas of the night. You might hear the soft, rhythmic breathing of your family members, now fully settled into their own states of deep relaxation, their breaths gentle and even, a comforting, shared cadence that quietly underscores the communal peace of the dwelling. Perhaps the occasional soft creak of the sturdy wooden structure of your home, a gentle settling sound as the building itself adjusts to the profound stillness, almost like a soft sigh in the quietude. From beyond the solid wooden walls, the symphony of the night continues its soft, steady hum, the persistent rhythmic chirping of crickets, now closer, more intimate, weaving their delicate song seamlessly into the fabric of your consciousness, the faint, distant rustle of leaves as a gentle night breeze sighs softly through the ancient trees that stand like silent guardians around the village, and perhaps the occasional hoot of a nocturnal owl, a solitary, soft call that reminds you of the enduring natural world beyond your walls. Yet without ever disturbing the deep calm within, each sound, gentle and unhurried, serves not to awaken, but to lull, guiding you deeper and deeper into a state of profound tranquility. You begin the gentle, unhurried rituals of preparing for true slumber, movements that have been performed countless nights before, etched deeply into the very memory of your body. There is no haste, no urgency, only a quiet, deliberate unwinding of the day. You might feel the familiar weight of your simple, rough-spun linen garments as you slowly shed them. The fabric soft and worn against your skin, a testament to years of comforting use and countless washings. As you slowly lie down on your sleeping mat, you feel the soft, yielding texture of the clean, dry straw beneath you, a natural cushion that conforms gently to the contours of your body, providing a simple yet profound comfort. The rough-spun linen blanket, heavy and substantial, is drawn up around you, its familiar weight a reassuring presence that settles over you, providing encompassing warmth and a deep sense of security against the cool night air. The air around your face remains pleasantly cool and fresh, a comforting contrast to the warmth emanating from your body under the blanket, encouraging a deeper, more refreshing breath, preparing you for restorative sleep. As you lie there, suspended gently between wakefulness and sleep, your senses quietly attuned to the profound silence that now reigns supreme. It is not an empty silence, but a rich, living quiet, subtly filled with the quiet hum of existence itself. You allow your gaze to softly unfocus, perhaps observing the mesmerizing, shifting patterns of light and shadow cast by the dying embers on the opposite wall, or tracing the intricate weave of the thatched ceiling above, its rustic imperfections softened by the dim light into abstract, soothing patterns. Your breathing naturally deepens, becoming slow, steady, and rhythmic, mirroring the unhurried pace of the night. Each breath in is a gentle intake of the cool, fresh air. Each breath out is a slow, complete release of any remaining tension, a surrender to the profound peace that completely envelops you. According to the daily routines of medieval peasant life, the transition to sleep was often quick and absolute, following long hours of physical labor. But the mental preparation involved a quiet winding down of the senses, allowing the body to naturally drift into restorative rest without the distractions of artificial light or external stimulation. You feel your eyelids growing heavier, a soft, pleasant weight. As the day's events recede, your thoughts becoming more fragmented, then dissolving entirely, carried away by the gentle, irresistible current of approaching sleep. As your consciousness begins its slow, graceful descent into the profound depths of slumber, the physical world around you gently recedes, softening at its edges until it becomes an indistinguishable part of your inner landscape. You are no longer actively aware of the distinct sensation of the rough-spun linen blanket or the soft, yielding straw beneath you. Instead, these sensations blend seamlessly into a pervasive feeling of profound comfort and secure warmth that cradles you completely. The gentle coolness of the air on your face, the residual warmth radiating from the hearth, the subtle sense of wood smoke and straw, all these sensory inputs become interwoven into a continuous, soothing tapestry that gently cradles your awareness. Your breathing, now deeper and more expansive, flows with an effortless, perfect rhythm. Each inhale a soft drawing in, each exhale a gentle, complete surrender to the encroaching peace. This is the profound quiet of a body and mind at perfect rest, a state of complete and utter calm, a true cessation of active thought. Your thoughts, which moments ago might have lingered on the day's humble tasks or the simple, comforting stories, now begin to fragment, dissolving slowly like mist in the morning sun. They lose their coherence, becoming soft, fleeting images. Not demands for attention, but gentle whispers of memory that quickly fade into nothingness. You are not actively thinking, not trying to process anything, but rather allowing your mind to empty, to become a vast, tranquil expanse, a clear, open sky. The distinction between inside and outside, between your own awareness and the world beyond your sleeping form, begins to blur, fading away entirely. You become one with the pervasive silence, a silent participant in the profound stillness of the night. This is a crucial phase of sleep, where the mind clears itself, releasing the day's accumulated thoughts and preparing for deep, restorative renewal. Historically, without the constant stimulation of artificial light and sound that characterizes modern life, the body's natural circadian rhythms would have been acutely attuned to the sun's cycle, leading to a much more natural and efficient transition into sleep after dusk, a rhythm deeply ingrained in human existence. Deeper and deeper you drift, carried effortlessly by an unseen, gentle current, like a solitary leaf floating languidly on a calm, untroubled river. The external sounds that once formed a soft symphony of crickets and distant rustling now become even more muffled, absorbed completely into the deep quiet of your profound slumber. They are no longer heard as distinct noises, but rather felt as subtle, imperceptible vibrations, part of the continuous peaceful hum of the sleeping world, a lullaby of nature. You feel a gentle lightness spreading through your limbs, as if your entire body is becoming weightless, perfectly unburdened, sinking deeper into the soft, comforting mattress of deep sleep. This sensation of weightlessness is profoundly relaxing, a complete release from all physical tension, allowing every muscle and sinew to unwind completely, to soften and rest. It's a full and willing surrender to the restorative, all-encompassing power of the night. As you move through the profound restorative stages of sleep, your mind is no longer processing information in the conscious, active way of wakefulness. Instead, it enters a state of deep, unconscious renewal, a quiet factory of restoration. This is the sacred period when the body repairs itself, when the day's experiences are meticulously processed and sorted, integrated into your being, and when true, unadulterated rest takes hold. You are utterly unaware of the passage of hours, of the moon's silent, majestic journey across the sky, or of the subtle shift in the night air as the coldest, most profound part of the early morning approaches. You are simply immersed in a profound, dreamless peace, a state of complete unconsciousness, undisturbed by any external stimuli or internal chatter. This deep, unbroken sleep is the ultimate restoration, a vital, essential preparation for the humble yet demanding tasks of another day in the rhythm of the medieval world. Yet, even in the profound depths of unconsciousness, there remains a subtle, intuitive awareness, an ancient primal connection to the timeless rhythms of existence, a whisper from the universe itself, far beyond the horizon, long before any direct light touches your window. There is an almost imperceptible shift in the vast, expansive canvas of the sky. A faint, ethereal lightness begins to gather in the eastern sky, a subtle pearly white emerging slowly from the deepest indigo of night, gently hinting at the sun's slow, deliberate journey back towards the world, towards a new day. This is the very earliest breath of dawn, a promise whispered by the universe itself, long before the first rooster crows, long before any other sign of waking. You are still deep in the profound embrace of sleep, But this faint, nascent light, though unseen by your conscious eyes, begins its gentle, inevitable beckoning. A silent, powerful signal woven into the very fabric of time. This subtle awareness, this inherent connection to the turning of the day, speaks deeply to a life lived in profound harmony with the natural world, where the very pulse of existence is dictated by the sun and the seasons, a cycle unchanging and eternal. It is a quiet, unwavering promise of renewal, a testament to the continuous, enduring cycle of life, offering a gentle, hopeful anticipation of the awakening that will soon begin, bringing forth another day. You linger in the profound, dreamless peace of your deepest slumber, a state of perfect repose that feels timeless and boundless. Yet even within this complete unconsciousness, a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the world begins to gently make itself known. A soft, ethereal beckoning that emanates from far beyond the confines of your humble dwelling. It is the very earliest breath of dawn, long before any direct light touches your window. A quiet, ancient signal woven into the fabric of time itself. The deepest indigo of the night sky, once absolute, now subtly begins to yield to a faint pearly white light gathering on the eastern horizon. This nascent glow is not yet a visible beam, but rather a translucent presence, a gentle hinting at the sun's slow, deliberate journey back towards the world, towards a new day. You are still profoundly asleep, but this subtle, nascent light, though unseen by your conscious eyes, begins its gentle, inevitable invitation. A silent, powerful signal that stirs something primal deep within your being. This innate connection to the turning of the day, to the grand unwavering cycle of the sun, speaks profoundly to a life lived in harmony with the natural world, where the very pulse of existence is dictated not by artificial means, but by the celestial dance of light and shadow, of warmth and coolness. A faint, utterly familiar sound begins to reach you, a whisper at first. Then a clear, resonant call that seems to cut through the last vestiges of your slumber, emanating from beyond the solid wooden walls of your simple home. It is the steady, rhythmic crow of a rooster, a sound that repeats itself with a comforting regularity, a soft, natural alarm clock echoing through the pre-dawn stillness. You hear it again. A little closer this time, its call carrying a touch more insistence, a gentle yet unwavering summons that clearly marks the turning of the day. And then again, a third call, clearer still, confirming the inevitable progression. This sound is far from jarring or abrupt. Instead, it is a deeply comforting assurance, a familiar note in the quiet symphony of the awakening world. It's a predictable beginning to another cycle of waking and resting, a gentle reminder that another day is slowly, peacefully unfolding, just as countless days have unfolded before it, each one a smooth, continuous progression from the last, a testament to the unhurried, enduring passage of time. This familiar sound, so intrinsically linked to the medieval agricultural rhythms, provides a profound sense of continuity and stability, a gentle reassurance in a world governed by natural cycles. As these quiet moments continue to pass, a subtle, almost ethereal lightness begins its gentle creep into the room, filtering through the small, unglazed window openings and the minute cracks in the wooden structure. You can sense the delicate presence of the morning mist, a soft, translucent veil still clinging stubbornly to the thatched rooftops of the neighboring cottages, blurring their distinct outlines into soft, indistinct shapes. Imagine this soft, ethereal blanket of white, lending an almost dreamlike quality to the waking landscape outside, muting harsh sounds and softening all sharp edges and creating an atmosphere of gentle, hazy wonder. The air itself feels wonderfully crisp and remarkably clean, carrying with it a faint, earthy aroma. You might detect the subtle, grounding scent of damp soil, newly turned by the dew that has settled throughout the quiet hours of the night, perhaps mingling harmoniously with the light, fresh fragrance of wild grasses from the vast fields stretching beyond the village's edge. It is a quiet, unspoken invitation, a gentle beckoning to simply be present, fully and completely in this tranquil, unhurried space, feeling the subtle, graceful shift from the profound darkness towards the soft, tender promise of a new day's light. You listen more closely now, allowing your senses to expand beyond the immediate confines of your dwelling. Beneath the persistent rooster's call, other faint sounds gradually begin to emerge, weaving themselves into the intricate fabric of the morning. Perhaps the distant low bleating of a sheep from a nearby pasture, a soft, contented sound that speaks of peaceful grazing on dew-kissed grass, or the almost imperceptible rustling of leaves as a gentle breeze sighs softly through the ancient, towering oak trees that stand like silent guardians over the village, their gnarled branches swaying in quiet communion with the awakening air. There might be the distant rhythmic trickle of a hidden stream, its clear water flowing ceaselessly and patiently over smooth, time-worn stones, creating a constant, soothing murmur that has endured for countless ages, a sound of perpetual, gentle motion in a still world. Each of these small, unhurried sounds contributes to a rich, yet incredibly subtle tapestry of peaceful awakening, a world slowly, deliberately, coming to life without any hint of haste or urgency. The profound silence does not shatter. Instead, it gracefully recedes, making gentle way for the rising, quiet hum of existence, a harmonious symphony of natural awakening. You feel the cool, fresh breath of the new day seeping gently through the small, unseen cracks in the sturdy wooden walls of your home, carrying with it the quiet anticipation of the day's familiar and predictable tasks, a sense of quiet purpose that subtly stirs within you. This is the world you inhabit, a place where time itself moves at its own measured, unhurried pace, dictated not by the artificial constructs of clocks, but by the steady arc of the sun, the gentle changing of the seasons, and the simple, enduring necessities of daily life. Every morning is a soft, comforting echo of the one before, a profound testament to the steadfastness and unwavering rhythm of the medieval world, a continuous thread of existence. You find yourself sinking deeper and deeper into the sensation of this calm awakening, a gentle, soothing current carrying you effortlessly forward into the soft embrace of the new day. You linger in this moment, suspended exquisitely between slumber and wakefulness, feeling the profound peace of a world content in its cyclical nature. The air is still wonderfully cool, but a hint of warmth from the east promises the sun's imminent arrival, painting the highest clouds in the faintest blush of rose and gold, a silent masterpiece unfolding before the full light fully illuminates the world. Now, as the gentle gray of dawn transitions into a clearer, more defined light, filling the room with a soft, diffused luminescence, you begin to stir more fully, not with any sense of urgency or pressing demand, but with a slow, deliberate readiness for the day ahead. You feel the cool yet comforting touch of the rough-spun linen blanket as you shift, its simple, honest texture a familiar and welcome weight against your skin, providing a continuous comfort that has protected you through the quiet hours of the night. As you gradually move to rise, your bare feet find the cool, smooth surface of the worn wooden floor beneath them. Each plank, softened and polished by generations of countless footsteps, feels familiar and grounding, telling a silent story of innumerable journeys taken across its surface, of bodies moving through these very spaces, their daily rhythms echoing in the deep grain of the ancient timber. The air inside your humble wooden home still holds a comfortable coolness, a slight, pleasant chill that gently encourages you to move towards the hearth, the very heart of the home, where warmth soon will bloom and chase away the last vestiges of night. A gentle, insistent crackling sound begins to fill the quiet space, growing steadily louder as dried kindling, carefully gathered and stored yesterday, is purposefully placed into the fireplace. You hear the small, precise movements as each piece of wood finds its perfect place, arranged just so, allowing the air to circulate freely and feed the fledgling flame. The tiny sparks dance briefly like miniature, fleeting stars, leaping from the kindling before gracefully settling into a steady, soft glow, growing larger and brighter with each carefully added piece of fuel. Slowly, gradually, with a wonderful sense of inevitability, a comforting warmth begins to emanate from the growing fire, pushing back the persistent morning chill and creating a small, intensely cozy pocket of heat that beckons you closer, drawing you into its comforting embrace. This warmth spreads, expanding slowly and gently, reaching out to embrace the entire room, a silent, comforting presence that effectively chases away the lingering coolness of the night, replacing it with a soft, inviting heat that warms you from within, from your core. Soon, a new aroma, deeply comforting and utterly familiar, begins to join the subtle, earthy scent of wood smoke, a fragrance that unequivocally promises sustenance and the enduring comfort of routine. It is the wholesome, deeply satisfying smell of baking bread, perhaps a simple unleavened flatbread cooking directly over the open flame, its edges crisping gently, or a portion of a larger rustic loaf warming slowly in a small, enclosed oven built directly into the sturdy hearth. This earthy, nourishing scent mingles harmoniously with the faint, rustic perfume of the hearth itself, creating an atmosphere that feels profoundly rooted, utterly secure, and wonderfully predictable. You can almost taste the simple goodness of it, a plain yet deeply satisfying beginning to the long, quiet day. This aroma is a sensory anchor, grounding you firmly in the present moment, in the gentle rituals of morning. Your hands, now fully awake and accustomed to their many tasks, move with a practiced ease, a silent dance honed over countless mornings. As you begin the careful preparation of the morning meal, perhaps you are stirring a portion of gruel, made from coarse oats or hearty barley, warming slowly in an earthenware pot suspended over the steadily growing flame. The wooden spoon makes a soft, rhythmic scraping sound against the clay, a gentle hum of quiet industry, a testament to steady, unhurried work. You might feel the fine, almost powdery texture of the ground grain between your fingers as you add it to the warming water, ensuring the consistency is just right, a perfectly smooth, nourishing liquid. Or perhaps you are carefully arranging dried fruits, patiently preserved from the last abundant harvest, on a simple wooden platter, each one a small, sweet, concentrated reminder of the earth's endless bounty, a testament to foresight and provision. Each movement is unhurried, deliberate, and imbued with a quiet purpose, a part of a well-worn dance, a sequence repeated countless mornings, bringing forth an undeniable sense of calm and natural rhythm to the unfolding day. As the fire grows steadier and its heat more intense, casting dancing shadows on the walls, and the meal simmers quietly, you might begin to hear other faint, gentle sounds from within the home. Perhaps the soft rustle of straw as someone else shifts on a sleeping mat. Still deep in the lingering embrace of dreams, or the quiet, contented murmur of a voice. Still thick and groggy with sleep, a gentle acknowledgement of the new day. You hear the gentle clinking of earthenware cups being carefully set on a sturdy, rough-hewn wooden table, anticipating the warm liquid that will soon fill them. Perhaps watered wine or a simple herbal infusion. There is absolutely no urgency in these sounds, no rush, just the steady, predictable progression of a household gently waking up, moving through its timeless, comforting rituals. A theoretical homemaker's guide from that era, if such comprehensive written instructions existed for every humble home, might have detailed the precise measurements for the morning gruel, ensuring a consistent texture each morning, or perhaps the specific way to stack the wood for the most efficient and enduring burn, conserving precious fuel. This quiet predictability, this unwavering routine, is a cornerstone of life in this age, a constant against the ever-changing seasons and the unpredictable whims of nature. You feel the deep, abiding comfort that comes from knowing exactly what each new morning will bring. A succession of small, familiar tasks that anchor you firmly in the present moment, preparing you for the gentle, unhurried flow of the day ahead. The warmth of the fire now embraces you fully, a physical manifestation of the security and stability of your home. The simple aromas fill your senses, grounding you completely. You are part of this timeless rhythm, a quiet participant in the ancient dance of daily life. You breathe in the calm and feel the weight of peaceful repetition settling over you, preparing your mind and body for the deep and restorative rest, as the gentle light of morning fully fills your dwelling.